Hello everyone, welcome back to another tabletop exploration of Great War Commander. So what's different today? Not a whole lot is different today. The components haven't changed much, but what I wanted to share again, as we do with some games, is like a nice storage solution. Well, what I hope. This isn't going to work for everyone, but let me show you what we have. So first we've got the box. It's closed all the way. And first thing I did were the two initiative cards that stand out. So you have one card is for Americans versus the Germans, and then we have the French versus, well, hopefully I didn't get those backwards, right? Anyway, there's a German-French one. And what I've done is I've sleeved these in dragon sleeves. So I'm not promoting a product because it's what I have. I just happen to like them. But other people are going to have card sleeves that they enjoy. So I just sleeve those. The reason I'm pointing out the dragon card sleeves is I actually have two types. One is, they're both clear. It's just that with the ones for the initiative card, I actually have it's a smooth. That way, no matter how you're looking at the card, you get a nice clear image of the card. We'll take a look at the other cards in a moment and explain why that's important. Then what I've done here is, since this doesn't come with baggies or kind of a counter storage solution, what I've done is I've gone back to my good old collection of GMT trays. I happen to have a couple that were empty. I did not have to clear out any games. I actually found two trays that were empty. And I was able to fit all the counters into two trays. So each tray, for those curious, it's 4 across, 4 deep. So that's like 16 wells that you get. And for two trays, that's 32. So what I have here, I guess it doesn't matter if it's upside right or not to you, but what I've done with one tray is I put all the aircraft here in one well. There was only like 3. Then I've got all of the German infantry types here in these couple of rows. And then I put all of their support weapons in one tray. There's not so many that it's impossible to dig through and find the support weapon you want. So they are kind of jumbled together. But that was better than having like one well for 1 or 2 weapon types. Then I would need like 3 or 4 counter trays. So stacking those up wasn't too bad. Then you have like all the leaders right here. Again, there's a lot of leaders, but it's not horrible to go through and find the leader that you want. But then you have the different infantry types. Those are all separated out. Then this tray does double duty as the admin markers. So I have various admin markers in the remaining of the wells. And that worked out great. The trench markers, since they're kind of big, that did take up 2 wells, but most everything else has its own separate little well inside the tray. So those stacked up really, really good. Then the French and Americans, a similar situation. I was able to fit all of the French infantry here in a spot. There was like a couple of liaison guys. I don't know exactly what they are, but like runners. And then there were, I can't read that upside down, but there was enough of these wells that I could fit all the French infantry, and then 3 for the tanks. So there's probably 4, there's like 13 tanks total, and there's 3 different types. And so I was surprised to find that the only ones with tanks here are the French. So there's no German tanks, and I suppose it really wasn't American tanks at the time in World War I. But I figured there was at least like one type of German tank, but no German tanks are represented in the game. So these are 3 types of French tanks. And then we have the French leaders right here. And then again, we put all the French support weapons in their own little section. Then the Americans, they're just infantry, so they're infantry type support weapons. There was one here, 1 engineer. So we got 1 engineer, and then there's rifle marines. So I was actually very happy because I haven't looked and read all the specific scenarios, but I'm hoping there's at least like 1 Belleau Woods, 1 for, let me look. No, I'm not gonna pause the camera. We're just gonna take a peek and see if there's anything about, yeah, Rock of the Marne. Right there. Just taking a quick look here. Fresh American divisions rushed in. The crack German. It's just that was a. I don't think these were Marines. This was Army, but it's just that one stood out to me because that's the unit I was in. That was 3rd Infantry Division. Way back when. Yeah. Well, so when I was in the Army, I was in the 24th Infantry Division, and then right before I got out, they changed over. They retired 24th Infantry Division, and then they just made us. I don't think they reactivated 3rd, but they made us part of 3rd. They might have done a reactivation of 3rd because it had a more history to it, and then we had to learn the Rock of the Marne song. I don't even remember that. I'm just a dog-faced soldier with a rifle on my shoulder, and I eat raw meat for breakfast every day. So feed me ammunition, keep me in the 3rd Division. You're a dog-faced soldier, boy, okay. That's all I remember. But here's one, Devil Dog. So that's why this is pretty cool. I'm not a Marine, but those are two battles now that you get to do. So you got Marine action, and you got Rock of the Marne for the U.S. Army. Okay, cool. I'm glad I looked that up. That was pretty much it. I'm gonna pause for a second, go grab the cards, and show you how I've got those stored. Okay, and through the magic of television, we've got the cards. I went to my local game store. I was really hoping they had more options, but this is what I had, so I'm thankful they had them. These are just regular card holders. You'd probably get these for any game, Magic the Gathering, stuff like that. These are designed to hold 100 sleeved cards, and that's important because I did sleeve my cards. Like I mentioned earlier, I have 2 types of sleeves. One side is completely clear, and the other side, now you probably can't tell through this camera view, but it has kind of a ghosty, cloudy side, and it's textured. This side is smooth. Can't really hear that. That side is textured. The idea is to help, it's like an anti-slip, so it's a matte. But anyway, I do that because when you take a large, and this is a pretty thick stack of cards once you get them all sleeved, but it just helps keep them from just spewing out across the table. It just gives them a little bit of grip to each other. Now so there's 2 reasons why I chose these. One, this will hold up to 100 sleeved cards. This is not 100 cards, but this is around like 70 cards. 100, I don't know, if I had actual 100 sleeved cards, it still might not fit. I think these particular Dragon Shields are very thick plastic, but they really give your cards some rigidity and protection, so I don't mind. The other reason I got this card holder is it comes with 1 divider. I'm trying to get that. So, and that's important because the back side, if I can pull this out, this is the side where I'm holding the special orders, and then you know, like your special, what are they called here? Hold on, there's a name, what are they? The strategy cards, and then you have all your informational cards. So that allows me to split the deck without having to, you know, mix in these non-combat deck cards. And since the only 2 colors they had, in fact, I think these were the last 3 that they had, but this allowed me to get a 1 blue one for the Americans, a blue one for the French, and if they had had a gray, that would have been fantastic, or a black for the Germans, but I just went red for Germans. My son's favorite color is red, and he likes to play the Germans. So that's what we have. We have card solution storages. Now, obviously, if you don't sleeve your cards, they do make smaller versions of this, but for the price and to sleeve your cards, which I think really helps with the longevity of your card life, I think it's worth spending $3 to get a case to store them and some sleeves. But what sleeves you get is entirely up to you. But that's what we have. Other than that, nothing's changed. The maps still fit in here. The player aid cards still fit in. The 2 trays fit in just fine. And no, the cards will not fit in. So that's a drawback. But I had the same problem with Combat Commander Europe. All the counter trays that I was using, everything fit in the box, except for the cards once you sleeve them and put them in some kind of box to keep them from sliding all over the place. So well, let me put the initiative cards back. So is it a perfect solution? It works good enough for me. I've got all the components protected. The only drawback is if I go game somewhere, yes, I have forgotten my cards before, but hopefully I'll remember that this has these really huge card boxes. All right, cool. Thank you so much for checking in, and I don't know, if you have ideas and things that you do for storage of your cards and your game components, feel happy to share. That's the nice thing about the community. People might have better solutions than I have, which I'm pretty sure they do. So here's my contribution to storing your Great War Commander base game. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.